What if I told you that driving a brand new economy car might actually make you poorer than buying one of these SUVs? Yeah, you heard that right. While everyone's out here flexing their Corollas and Civics, there are 5 absolute beast SUVs sitting on lots right now that cost less than those so-called budget champions. And they'll give you more space, more capability, and honestly, more respect at the school pickup line. I mean, let's be real. Nothing says I've made questionable life choices quite like paying $28,000 for a car that can't even fit your groceries and your dignity at the same time, right? So buckle up, because today we're counting down 5 SUVs that are worth their weight in gold, and they're cheaper than you think. Let's go!
All right, kicking us off at number 5, we've got a vehicle that's been flying so far under the radar, it practically has stealth technology, the Mitsubishi Outlander. Now, I know what you're thinking, Mitsubishi? Aren't they the brand my uncle bought in 2004 and then forgot existed? Well, hold on to your wallets, because this Japanese underdog is about to blow your mind and your budget wide open in the best way possible. Here's the deal. While everyone's lining up to drop 30 grand on a Honda CR-V or a Toyota RAV4, the Outlander is sitting there like the quiet kid in class who secretly has all the answers. We're talking a starting price that'll make you do a double take, often coming in several $1,000s less than those budget-friendly sedans everyone keeps raving about. And get this, you're not sacrificing space or features. In fact, you're getting more. Yeah, more. It's like finding out the clearance rack at the store actually has better stuff than the full price section. Let's talk about what makes this thing an absolute steal. First up, seating for 7. That's right, 7 human beings can fit in this thing comfortably. When was the last time your Corolla fit 7 people? Never, unless you're running some kind of clown car operation, which, hey, no judgment here. But seriously, that third row isn't just for show, it's actually usable, unlike some competitors where you'd need to be a yoga instructor just to fold yourself back there. Perfect for growing families, weekend road trips, or just having the option to be the hero when your friends need a ride. You know, the friend with the big car everyone suddenly remembers when it's moving day. Now, let's get into the good stuff, the reasons why this Outlander punches way above its weight class. Mitsubishi might not have the marketing budget of the big boys, but what they do have is over a century of engineering experience. These folks literally built Japan's first series production automobile back in 1917. They know a thing or two about making cars that last. The Outlander comes standard with a robust 4-cylinder engine that's proven itself reliable over hundreds of thousands of miles in real-world conditions. We're talking about engines that have been tested in everything from the scorching deserts of Australia to the frozen tundras of Canada. This isn't some experimental tech. It's tried, tested, and true. And here's where it gets even better. Depending on the trim level you go for, you can snag yourself an available all-wheel drive system that's actually brilliant. Mitsubishi's super all-wheel control system isn't just slapping power to all 4 wheels and calling it a day. Oh no, this thing actively distributes torque based on driving conditions, giving you legitimate capability in rain, snow, and even light off-road situations. So while your neighbor's 2-wheel drive sedan is slip-sliding around the grocery store parking lot in winter, you're cruising by like you own the place. The interior? Surprisingly well appointed for the price point. We're talking standard touchscreen infotainment, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, multiple USB ports, because let's face it, in 2025, if your car doesn't charge your phone, does it even exist? Plus, the cargo space is generous. Fold those rear seats down and you've got yourself a moving van that actually gets decent gas mileage. I'm talking legitimate camping trip, IKEA run, help me move this couch levels of space. But here's where I need to keep it real with you, because I'm not just here to sell you a car, I'm here to make sure you make a smart decision. There are a few things you absolutely need to keep your eyes on when you're shopping for an Outlander. First and foremost, the CVT transmission. Now, CVTs get a bad rap, and honestly, some of that reputation is earned. The earlier Outlanders had some issues with their continuously variable transmissions, particularly in models before the latest generation. If you're looking at a used Outlander, make sure that CVT has been serviced regularly, and I mean religiously. Check the service records like your life depends on it, because a neglected CVT can turn into a very expensive paperweight. The good news? The newer models have significantly improved reliability, but you still want to make sure you're following that maintenance schedule to the letter. Second thing, resale value. Look, I'm not going to sugarcoat this. Mitsubishi doesn't hold its value quite like a Toyota or Honda. That's actually good news when you're buying, because you can snag an incredible deal on a lightly used model. But if you're the type who trades in every 3 years, just know you're not getting top dollar back. However, if you're planning to drive this thing into the ground over 10 or 15 years, who cares about resale? You're getting reliable, affordable transportation for the long haul. Third thing, dealer network. Mitsubishi doesn't have dealerships on every corner like some brands, so depending on where you live, you might have to travel a bit for service. Do your homework and make sure there's a reputable dealer or independent mechanic nearby who knows these vehicles. Trust me, you don't want to be 2 hours away from the nearest service center when something needs attention. But here's the bottom line. The Outlander is the automotive equivalent of finding a designer jacket at a thrift store. It does everything the expensive SUVs do: space, comfort, capability, tech, for thousands less. And in today's market, where a basic economy car can cost you the same or more, why wouldn't you get the SUV? It's like choosing between a studio apartment and a 3-bedroom house for the same rent. The choice is obvious. So there you have it, the Outlander. Underrated, underpriced, and honestly, underappreciated. But not by us, not today. Now, if you thought that was a good deal, wait until you see what's coming up at number 4. We're talking about an SUV that's so tough, it makes the Outlander look like it goes to yoga class on weekends. Stick around, you are not going to want to miss this one.
Coming in at number 4, we've got the vehicle that basically invented the modern compact SUV game and somehow still manages to be one of the best value propositions on the market, the legendary Toyota RAV4. Now, you might be scratching your head thinking, wait a minute, didn't you just say this thing costs more than economy cars? Well, here's the plot twist that'll make your accountant do a happy dance. If you hunt for a slightly used RAV4 or catch one of those end-of-year clearance deals, you can absolutely snag one for less than what people are paying for brand new sedans. And honestly, even if you pay a bit more, what you're getting in return is basically a money printing machine disguised as transportation. Let me paint you a picture. Imagine buying a vehicle today that your grandkids will still be fighting over in your will. That's the RAV4. This thing doesn't just hold value, it appreciates in the court of public opinion like fine wine or vintage sneakers. I'm not even joking here. There are RAV4s from the early 2000s still cruising around with 300,000 miles on the clock, and their owners treat them like beloved family pets. You'll see people naming these things, putting bumper stickers on them that say, "My other car is also a RAV4." It's basically a cult at this point, and honestly, I'm here for it. So what makes the RAV4 worth every single penny? Let's start with the elephant in the room, Toyota's legendary reliability. When Toyota builds an engine, they don't just test it, they basically try to destroy it and then build whatever survives. We're talking engines that have been torture tested in conditions that would make other manufacturers cry. The result? A powertrain that's so bulletproof you could probably run it on prayers and good intentions if regular gasoline wasn't available. Okay, maybe that's a slight exaggeration, but you get the point. The 4-cylinder engines in these things are known to rack up miles that would make a commercial trucker jealous. Change the oil, keep up with basic maintenance, and this vehicle will outlive your mortgage. And let's talk about that all-wheel drive system, because Toyota didn't just phone this one in. Their AWD setup is smart, efficient, and actually works when you need it. Whether you're dealing with surprise snowstorms, muddy camping trails, or just that sketchy gravel road to your favorite hiking spot, the RAV4 handles it like a champion. Plus, the ground clearance is generous enough that you won't be bottoming out on speed bumps or worried about scraping through that poorly maintained parking lot. It's the automotive equivalent of being prepared for anything without having to buy a full-blown off-roader that drinks gas like it's going out of style. The practicality factor is off the charts. The cargo area can swallow everything from Home Depot hauls to sports equipment to that impulse purchase you definitely didn't need but absolutely had to have. The rear seats fold flat, creating a loading floor so versatile you could probably move an entire studio apartment if you Tetris it right. And speaking of space, the passenger room is genuinely comfortable. This isn't one of those SUVs where your tall friends are cramped in the back seat plotting revenge. Everyone gets to ride in actual comfort. Revolutionary concept, I know. Now here's where the RAV4 really flexes: gas economy. For an SUV with this much capability and space, the gas mileage is shockingly good. We're talking numbers that rival many sedans, especially if you opt for the hybrid version. Oh, and speaking of the hybrid, let me just say this: if you can swing it, go hybrid. The RAV4 Hybrid is one of those rare vehicles where you get better performance, better efficiency, and it holds its value even better than the regular version. It's like Toyota figured out how to hack the laws of physics and economics simultaneously. The hybrid powertrain gives you instant torque, smooth acceleration, and you'll be cruising past gas stations while everyone else is stopping every other day. Plus, that resale value? Chef's kiss. But hold up, because we need to talk reality for a second. As amazing as the RAV4 is, there are some things you absolutely need to watch out for. First major consideration: demand. The RAV4 is so popular that dealers know they're sitting on gold. This means you're going to have to negotiate hard, and I mean hard. Don't walk into a dealership thinking you're getting some massive discount just because you're a smooth talker. These things sell themselves. Do your research, check prices across multiple dealers, and be willing to walk away if they're not playing ball. Seriously, sometimes the best negotiating tactic is showing them you're ready to leave. Suddenly that non-negotiable price becomes surprisingly flexible. Second thing, and this is crucial, inspect the undercarriage if you're buying used. RAV4s are tough, but they're not immune to rust, especially if they've spent their life in salt belt states dealing with winter roads. Get under there with a flashlight, or better yet, have a trusted mechanic do a pre-purchase inspection. Check the frame, the suspension components, the exhaust system. A little surface rust is normal, but if you're seeing structural corrosion, walk away. No deal is good enough to justify inheriting someone else's rust bucket nightmare. Third point, the infotainment system in older RAV4s is, well, let's just say Toyota wasn't winning any awards for user interface design. If you're looking at models from around 2016 to 2019, just know that touchscreen might make you want to throw your phone at it out of frustration. The good news is, the newer generations have vastly improved systems, and honestly, as long as it has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, you're golden. Just plug in your phone and pretend Toyota's native system doesn't exist. Problem solved. Here's something else people don't always consider: tire costs. The RAV4 rolls on a pretty common tire size, which is great for pricing, but because this vehicle is so popular and versatile, people actually use them. They rack up miles, they go off-road, they haul heavy loads. Your tires are going to wear, and depending on how you drive and where you live, you might be replacing them more often than you'd expect. Budget for good quality tires, because trust me, cheaping out on rubber is where good vehicles go to die in terms of handling and safety. But here's the thing that makes all of this worth it. The RAV4's ownership experience is borderline magical. Insurance rates are reasonable because they're safe and not considered high theft targets. Parts are everywhere because Toyota sold approximately 10 billion of these things. Any mechanic worth their salt can work on one. And when it comes time to sell, you'll have buyers lining up like it's Black Friday. The RAV4 doesn't depreciate, it just gently suggests it might be worth slightly less than new, but not by much. So, is the RAV4 worth it? Absolutely. Is it perfect? No vehicle is. But if you want something reliable, practical, efficient, and proven over literally decades of real-world testing by millions of owners, the RAV4 is your answer.
It's not the flashiest choice. It's not going to win you any cool car awards at the office. But you know what it will do? Start every single morning, haul your stuff without complaint, and still be running strong when other SUVs are sitting in junkyards dreaming of what could have been. All right, that's number 4 in the books. But coming up at number 3, we've got an SUV that took everything people loved about bare-bones reliability and said, what if we made it luxurious? You're going to want to hear this one because it may just be the best-kept secret in the entire automotive industry right now. Don't go anywhere.
Sliding into the number 3 spot, we've got a vehicle that's been on one of the most dramatic glow-up journeys in automotive history, the Kia Sportage. Now, if your last memory of Kia is from the 90s when they were making cars that looked like they were designed by someone who'd only seen photographs of what cars were supposed to look like, buckle up, because modern Kia is serving looks, luxury, and reliability that'll make you question why you ever considered spending more money on a so-called premium brand. This is the automotive equivalent of someone showing up to the high school reunion looking like $1 million after everyone thought they peaked in sophomore year. Here's the bombshell that nobody's talking about. The Kia Sportage gives you luxury-level features, head-turning design, and a warranty that makes other manufacturers look downright stingy, all for a price that'll have you checking the window sticker twice because you'll think they forgot a digit. We're talking thousands less than comparable SUVs from Honda, Toyota, or Mazda, and yet somehow you're getting more equipment, more style, and arguably more fun behind the wheel. It's like walking into a restaurant, ordering the budget meal, and the chef accidentally brings you the premium surf and turf. You're not complaining, you're just wondering when someone's going to realize the mistake. Let's dive into what makes the Sportage such an absolute weapon in the value segment. First off, that design. Kia hired designers away from luxury brands, and boy, does it show. The current generation Sportage looks like it cost twice what you actually paid for it. Sharp lines, aggressive stance, LED lighting that makes it look like it's judging other cars in the parking lot. This thing commands attention. You're not rolling up looking like you compromised on your dreams. You're rolling up looking like you made a smart financial decision that also happens to be gorgeous. I mean, since when did being financially responsible get to look this good? It's like finding out vegetables actually taste amazing when someone who knows what they're doing cooks them. Now let's talk about what's waiting for you when you open that door, because the interior is where Kia really decided to show off. Depending on the trim level you choose, you're looking at materials and build quality that rivals vehicles costing 15 to 20 grand more. Soft touch surfaces, available leather seating, dual screen displays that look like they belong in a spaceship, and tech features that'll make your gadget-obsessed friends actually jealous of your car. Wireless charging, premium sound systems, heated and ventilated seats, panoramic sunroof, the list goes on. And here's the kicker, these aren't options buried in some unreachable top trim. Kia actually gives you this stuff in mid-level packages. Revolutionary, I know. The driving experience is where Sportage really surprises people. This isn't some boring appliance that gets you from point A to point B while you contemplate the existential dread of your commute. The steering is actually responsive, the handling is confident, and the available turbocharged engines give you legitimate pep when you need to merge onto the highway or, just feel like having a little fun. It strikes this brilliant balance between comfortable daily driver and something you don't actively dread piloting through your weekly errands. Plus, the ride quality is smooth enough that passengers won't feel like they're being interrogated through aggressive suspension compliance. Everyone wins. And we absolutely have to talk about Kia's warranty situation, because this is where they basically dropped the mic and walked off stage. 10 years or 100,000 miles powertrain warranty, 5 years or 60,000 miles bumper to bumper. These aren't marketing gimmicks, these are legitimate transferable warranties that actually mean something. Kia is so confident in their engineering that they're willing to back it up for a decade. When was the last time any manufacturer showed that level of commitment? It's like they're saying, yeah, we know this thing is solid, we'll prove it. That kind of confidence should tell you everything you need to know about quality. But let's pump the brakes for a reality check, because even though the Sportage is fantastic, there are some critical things you need to be aware of before you sign on that dotted line. First and most important, the engine recall situation. Certain model years of the Sportage, particularly those with the Theta 2 engine, have had issues that resulted in recalls for potential engine fires and failures. Now, Kia has addressed these with recalls and extended warranties, but you need to do your homework. If you're buying used, run that VIN through Kia's recall database and make absolute certain any open recalls have been completed. Check service records, ask questions. This isn't something to gloss over because you got excited about heated seats and a moonroof. Second consideration, theft rates. Unfortunately, Kias became viral sensations for all the wrong reasons thanks to that social media challenge targeting certain models without engine immobilizers. While the Sportage hasn't been hit as hard as some other Kia models, it's still something to be aware of. If you're buying an older model, check if it has the immobilizer and seriously consider additional security measures like steering wheel locks or aftermarket alarm systems. Also, call your insurance company before you buy and get a quote, because rates have definitely been affected by the theft trends. Last thing you want is sticker shock when you're trying to insure your new ride. Third thing, and this is more of a long-term consideration, while Kia's reliability has improved dramatically, they're still building their reputation in the used market. What does this mean for you? Amazing news when buying, because you can score incredible deals on lightly used models. People still undervalue Kias compared to Toyotas or Hondas, which means their loss is your gain. However, if you're someone who trades vehicles every few years, just understand that you won't get Toyota-level trade-in values. But again, if you're driving it for the length of that warranty, who cares? You're extracting every ounce of value out of that purchase. One more thing to watch, the dual-clutch transmission in certain turbocharged models. Some owners have reported jerky behavior or hesitation, particularly in stop-and-go traffic. If you're test driving one with the DCT, really put it through its paces in various driving conditions. Cruise on the highway, sit in traffic, do some spirited acceleration runs. Make sure that transmission behaves the way you need it to for your driving style. Some people don't mind the quirks, others find it annoying. Know which camp you're in before you commit. Here's what it all boils down to. The Kia Sportage represents one of the smartest purchases you can make in today's market. You're getting a vehicle that looks expensive, feels premium, drives confidently, and comes with a warranty that basically guarantees peace of mind for the better part of a decade. Meanwhile, people are out here paying more for vehicles with half the features, less style, and warranties that expire faster than milk left out on the counter. The Sportage isn't just a good deal, it's proof that the underdog can become the top dog when they actually try. So, if you've been sleeping on Kia because of outdated perceptions from 20 years ago, it's time to wake up. The Sportage is legitimate, it's loaded, and it's laughing all the way to the bank while other SUVs are wondering what happened. This is smart money doing smart things, and honestly, there's nothing more satisfying than that. All right, number 3 is done and dusted, but hold on to your steering wheels because number 2 is about to blow your mind. We're talking about an SUV that somehow manages to be even more of a value proposition, with a fan base so loyal they practically have annual conventions. You do not want to miss this one. Trust me, it's going to be worth it.
Rolling into the number 2 position, we've got the SUV that's so dependable, so practical, and so ridiculously well-engineered that it's basically become the default answer to what car should I buy? The Honda CR-V. Now, before you roll your eyes and think this is boring, let me hit you with some truth. There's a reason this thing has been a bestseller for decades. It's not because Honda has some magical marketing department convincing people to buy mediocre vehicles. No, it's because the CR-V is what happens when engineers are given one simple mission: build something that never disappoints. And somehow, they nailed it so hard that owners literally become evangelical about this thing. I'm talking people who've owned 3 CR-Vs in a row and are already planning their 4th. It's not a car, it's a lifestyle commitment. Here's the secret sauce that makes the CR-V such an insane value. While everyone's out here chasing luxury badges and flashy features, Honda focused on building the automotive equivalent of that one friend who always shows up when you need help moving. Reliable, spacious, never complains, and somehow makes everything easier. You can pick up a gently used CR-V for less than what people are financing brand new economy sedans for, and you're getting a vehicle that'll still be running strong when those sedans are being sold for scrap metal.
And if you opt for a newer model at a competitive price point, you're basically investing in a machine that depreciates slower than your grandmother's china collection. Let's break down why the CR-V has earned its cult-like following, because this isn't just hype, it's decades of proven performance backing it up. Honda's engineering philosophy is simple but brilliant. Make it work, make it last, and don't overcomplicate things. The result? Engines that can easily surpass 200,000 miles without breaking a sweat. We're talking about powertrains that have been refined and perfected over generations. Honda doesn't reinvent the wheel every model year. They take what works and make it better. It's the opposite of that tech company that releases a new phone every year with features nobody asked for. Honda listens, adapts, and delivers exactly what people actually need. The interior space in the CR-V is something that consistently surprises people. You open that rear cargo area and it's like Mary Poppins' bag, somehow bigger on the inside than it looks from the outside. Fold those rear seats down using Honda's brilliant Magic Seat system, and you've got a completely flat loading floor that can handle everything from Costco runs to weekend camping gear to that IKEA furniture you swore you'd assemble immediately but definitely won't. And let's talk about those rear seats for a second, because the Magic Seat feature isn't just a cute name. They actually fold up like movie theater seats, giving you insane vertical cargo space. Need to transport a tall plant? A bike standing upright? Your unrealistic expectations for how much you can accomplish in one weekend? The CR-V's got you covered. Fuel efficiency is where the CR-V really flexes on the competition. Honda's been making efficient engines since before it was cool to care about gas mileage. You're getting legitimate, real-world MPG numbers that'll have you stretching out those fill-ups like a yoga instructor stretches their hamstrings. And if you spring for the hybrid model, oh boy, you're entering a whole new realm of savings. The CR-V Hybrid isn't just efficient, it's absurdly efficient, while still giving you all the power and capability you need. It's like Honda figured out how to cheat at the fuel economy game without actually cheating, just good old-fashioned engineering brilliance. The driving dynamics are where Honda separates itself from the appliance on wheels category. The CR-V actually feels good to drive. The steering has weight to it, the handling is composed and predictable, and the ride quality hits that sweet spot between comfortable and engaging. You're not going to confuse this with a sports car, obviously, but you're also not going to feel like you're piloting a bubble through traffic. Honda engineers clearly drive their own vehicles because they've tuned everything with actual human preferences in mind. Wild concept, I know. But let's get serious for a moment, because even though the CR-V is phenomenal, there are some crucial things you absolutely must pay attention to. First major concern: oil dilution issues in certain turbocharged models. Specifically, the first-generation turbo 1.5-liter engines in earlier 5th-gen CR-Vs had problems with gasoline mixing with engine oil in cold-weather driving conditions. Honda issued software updates and extended warranties to address this, but if you're looking at a used CR-V from around 2017 to 2019 with that turbo engine, you need to verify that all service bulletins and updates have been completed. Check that service history like you're investigating a crime scene. Seriously, this isn't optional. Second thing to watch, the CVT transmission. Now, Honda CVTs are generally more reliable than many competitors, but they're still CVTs, which means they require proper maintenance. If you're buying used, make sure that transmission fluid has been changed according to Honda's recommendations. Some owners skip this thinking it's a lifetime fluid situation. It's not. Regular fluid changes will keep that CVT happy for the long haul. Neglect it, and you're looking at a repair bill that'll make you question every life decision that led you to that moment. Third consideration, and this one's important, the infotainment system in certain model years is absolutely frustrating. I'm talking about the touchscreen-only volume control era that made everyone collectively lose their minds. Who thought removing the volume knob was a good idea? If you're looking at models from that dark period of Honda's design history, just know you're going to have moments where you want to throw something at that screen. The good news? Honda listened to feedback and brought physical controls back in later models. Check which setup you're getting before you buy, because that daily frustration adds up quickly. Here's another reality check: theft. The CR-V has unfortunately become a target for catalytic converter theft because they're popular, they sit high enough for thieves to slide under easily, and those cats contain valuable metals. If you're buying a CR-V, seriously consider getting a cat shield installed. It's a couple of $100 that could save you thousands in replacement costs and the massive headache of dealing with theft. Also, park in well-lit areas when possible, and maybe don't advertise that you own one of the most commonly targeted vehicles. Just common sense stuff, but worth mentioning. One more thing people don't always think about: timing chain versus timing belt. Older CR-Vs had timing belts that needed replacement, which is a significant maintenance cost. Newer models have timing chains that are basically maintenance-free for the life of the vehicle. If you're shopping for an older CR-V, factor in whether that timing belt has been replaced or if it's coming due, because that's an expense you need to budget for. Knowledge is power, and in this case, knowledge is also potentially saving you $1,000. But here's why all of this is still worth it. The CR-V's ownership experience is unmatched. Insurance rates are reasonable because they're safe and stable vehicles. Repair costs are low because parts are abundant and any mechanic can work on them. The community of CR-V owners is massive, so finding advice, tips, and solutions online is easier than finding cat videos on the internet. And when it comes time to sell, you'll have buyers ready to jump because everyone knows the CR-V is a safe bet. It's the vehicle equivalent of investing in index funds, boring to talk about, but absolutely brilliant in practice. So, is the Honda CR-V the most exciting vehicle on this list? Probably not. Will it make your heart race when you see it in your driveway? Unlikely. But will it start every single time, haul your stuff without complaint, sip fuel like it's expensive wine, and still be worth decent money when you're ready to move on? Absolutely, 100%, without question, yes. The CR-V isn't trying to be your dream car, it's trying to be your best car, and honestly, there's a strong argument that it succeeds. Okay, so we've covered some absolute legends at positions 5 through 2, but now we're getting to number 1, the top spot, the crown jewel, the SUV that somehow manages to combine everything we've talked about and still costs less than you'd expect. This one's going to surprise you, and you're definitely going to want to hear why it earned the top position. Stay tuned, the best is literally about to come.
And here we are, the number 1 spot. The SUV that takes everything we love about value, reliability, style, and practicality, throws it all in a blender, and somehow produces something that costs less than it has any right to. The Hyundai Creta. Now, I can already hear some of you saying, wait, the what? I've never even heard of that. And that, my friends, is exactly why this absolute gem sits at number 1. While everyone's been distracted by the usual suspects, Hyundai quietly released one of the smartest, most feature-packed, ridiculously affordable SUVs on the planet, and it's been flying under the radar like a stealth bomber at a monster truck rally. Here's the jaw-dropping reality. The Hyundai Creta delivers everything you'd expect from an SUV costing 10 to 15 grand more, but at a price point that'll make you double-check the paperwork to make sure they didn't accidentally give you the commercial fleet discount. We're talking a subcompact SUV that's punching so far above its weight class, it should probably be investigated for performance-enhancing modifications. You get modern design, cutting-edge technology, impressive build quality, and Hyundai's industry-leading warranty, all wrapped up in a package that costs about the same as a well-optioned economy sedan. It's like showing up to a potluck with homemade gourmet food while everyone else brought store-bought potato salad. You just won, and they don't even know it yet. Let's dive into what makes the Creta such an absolute powerhouse in the value department, because this vehicle is loaded with surprises. First up, the design language. Hyundai hired the same design team that's been making luxury brands sweat, and the Creta showcases that talent brilliantly. This thing looks expensive. Sharp body lines, aggressive front fascia with a cascading grille, sleek LED lighting signatures that look like they belong on vehicles twice the price. The Creta doesn't apologize for its affordability. It celebrates it while looking like it raided a luxury SUV's closet. You're pulling up to places and people are genuinely confused about what you're driving because it doesn't look like a budget option. It looks like a smart investment with a killer sense of style.
Step inside and prepare to have your expectations shattered, because the interior is where Hyundai really decided to flex. Depending on the trim level, you're looking at features that include a massive touchscreen infotainment system, digital instrument cluster, ambient lighting, panoramic sunroof, ventilated seats, premium sound system, and materials that feel way more upscale than the price tag suggests. The dashboard layout is intuitive, the ergonomics are spot on, and everything feels solid and well assembled. You're not getting cheap plastics that squeak and rattle after 6 months. This is legitimate quality that holds up over time. Hyundai learned from their past, and boy did they learn well. The space efficiency in the Creta is borderline magical. Despite being classified as a subcompact SUV, the interior volume is shockingly generous. Rear passengers get legitimate legroom, not that cramped, please don't take a road trip longer than 20 minutes situation you find in some competitors. The cargo area is perfectly sized for daily errands, weekend getaways, or that Target run where you went in for one thing and came out with 17 bags. We've all been there. And the rear seats fold down to expand that cargo capacity when you need to haul bigger items. It's the perfect size for people who need more than a sedan, but don't want to drive something the size of a small apartment building. Now let's talk about what's under the hood and why it matters. The Creta comes with efficient, proven engines that Hyundai has been perfecting over multiple generations. You're not getting experimental technology that might explode in 5 years. You're getting powertrains that have logged millions of miles across global markets. The fuel economy is excellent, giving you that sweet spot between performance and efficiency. You can actually drive this thing without watching your fuel gauge drop like a lead balloon. Revolutionary concept in today's market. Plus, the available all-wheel drive system gives you genuine capability in various driving conditions without destroying your MPG numbers. It's like having your cake, eating it too, and then finding out the cake was also sugar-free and calorie-negative. Too good to be true? Nope, just good engineering. The driving experience is where the Creta surprises people who've never considered Hyundai before. The steering is responsive without being twitchy. The suspension soaks up road imperfections while still giving you decent handling feedback. And the overall ride quality is refined and comfortable. This isn't some harsh, jittery compact that beats you up on rough roads. It's a genuinely pleasant vehicle to pilot through daily life. Whether you're commuting through traffic, cruising on the highway, or navigating tight parking lots, the Creta handles it all with composure and confidence. You're not making compromises, you're just making smart choices. And we absolutely cannot forget about Hyundai's warranty situation, because this is where they basically told every other manufacturer to sit down and take notes. We're talking a 5-year, 60,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty and a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. That's an entire decade of coverage. Hyundai is so confident in their engineering that they're willing to back it up for longer than most people keep their vehicles. This isn't just a warranty, it's a promise, a commitment, a legally binding declaration that says, yeah, we built this thing right and we'll prove it. That kind of backing should give you serious confidence in your purchase. But alright, let's bring it back down to earth for a second, because even though the Creta is fantastic, there are some important things you need to know before jumping in. First consideration, availability and market presence. Depending on where you live, the Creta might not be as readily available as some other models on this list. Hyundai has focused the Creta on specific markets, so you'll need to check if it's actually sold in your region and what your local dealer network looks like. The last thing you want is to fall in love with a vehicle and then discover the nearest service center is 3 states away. Do your homework on availability before you get your heart set on it. Second thing to watch is resale value and market perception. The Creta is still building its reputation in certain markets, which means it hasn't achieved that household name recognition yet. For you as a buyer, this is fantastic news because it means better pricing and less competition. But if you're someone who trades vehicles frequently, just understand that resale values won't match something like a CR-V or RAV4 that have decades of brand equity built up. But here's the thing, if you're driving it for the length of that warranty, who cares about resale? You're extracting maximum value from every dollar spent. Third point, and this is crucial, engine recall awareness. Like their sister company Kia, certain Hyundai engines have been subject to recalls over the years. While the Creta uses different engines than some of the problematic models, you still need to do your due diligence. Run the VIN through Hyundai's recall database, verify that any open recalls have been addressed, and check the service history if buying used. This is basic common sense for any vehicle purchase, but it's especially important to be thorough. Knowledge is power, and in this case, knowledge is also protecting your investment. Another consideration: theft prevention and insurance costs. Hyundais became targets due to that social media challenge exploiting security vulnerabilities in certain models. While the Creta hasn't been hit as hard and newer models have enhanced security features, it's still worth checking with your insurance provider about rates before you buy. Also, consider investing in additional security measures like steering wheel locks or aftermarket immobilizers for extra peace of mind. A couple $100 in prevention beats thousands in headaches and increased premiums. One final thing worth mentioning: parts availability and aftermarket support. Because the Creta is newer to certain markets and doesn't have the same massive installed base as something like a CR-V, aftermarket parts and accessories might be slightly more limited. This usually isn't a deal breaker for most people, but if you're someone who likes to customize and modify your vehicle extensively, just be aware that your options might be more limited compared to more established models. On the flip side, OEM parts from Hyundai are reasonably priced and readily available through dealers, so maintenance and repairs won't break the bank. But here's the ultimate truth about the Hyundai Creta. This is what happens when a manufacturer listens to what people actually want and need, then delivers it at a price that doesn't require taking out a second mortgage. You're getting modern style, genuine quality, practical versatility, comprehensive warranty coverage, and efficiency, all without the premium price tag that usually comes attached to these features. The Creta isn't asking you to compromise on your needs or your budget. It's giving you both, which in today's automotive market feels almost rebellious. Think about it this way: while other people are stretching their budgets to afford vehicles with fewer features, higher maintenance costs, and shorter warranties, you're cruising around in something that looks expensive, feels premium, and costs less. You're not just saving money up front, you're saving money over the entire ownership experience through better warranty coverage, good fuel economy, and reasonable insurance rates. This is compound interest, but for your garage. The Creta represents everything this video has been about, proving that you don't need to overspend to get an amazing SUV. You just need to be smart, do your research, and be willing to look beyond the obvious choices. Sometimes the best value isn't the loudest name in the room, it's the quiet achiever in the corner that's been delivering results while everyone else was busy arguing about brand prestige.
And there you have it, folks. 5 incredible SUVs that deliver way more value than those overpriced economy cars everyone keeps pushing. From the spacious Outlander to the legendary RAV4, the stunning Sportage, the dependable CR-V, and our champion, the feature-packed Creta, these vehicles prove that smart shopping beats mindless brand loyalty every single time. But here's my question for you. Which one of these 5 would you pick? Are you Team Toyota reliability, Team Kia style, or are you ready to take a chance on that Hyundai Creta and join the value revolution? Drop your choice in the comments below and tell me why. I want to hear your reasoning, your stories, your hot takes. And listen, if this video helped you see the SUV market in a new light, do me a favor, smash that like button so more people can discover these hidden gems. Share this with anyone in your life who's about to make a car buying decision. Trust me, you might just save them thousands of dollars and years of regret. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell because we're cranking out content that'll make you a smarter, savvier car buyer. No fluff, no nonsense, just real information that actually matters. Coming up next, we've got even more money-saving vehicle content that'll blow your mind, so stick around. Until next time, drive smart, spend smarter, and remember, the best car isn't always the most expensive one. It's the one that gives you exactly what you need without emptying your bank account. I'll see you in the next one. Peace!